Welcome back to the finale of What If Anakin Had Joined Obi-Wan to Save Satine. Thank you to those of you who watched the first two parts of this video. To recap what happened in those in case you haven't seen them, the assistant of Anakin had given Duchess Satine a chance to escape the wrath of Maul. Different groups of guards are assigned to protect her after she had returned to her throne, but following a clever trap by Maul and Savage, luring the Jedi to Florrum, the Jedi had rushed back to Mandalore with the help of Bo-Katan, and they now faced Maul in the palace throne room. The Jedi swiveled their heads to meet the leering stare of their old foe, but they were curious as to why he was considering attacking them. Maul was not foolish enough to challenge all three Jedi, and as they made a move to escort Satine out of the palace, the Zabrak silently gestured to his Mandalorian commandos, and they activated the detonators that they had secretly placed around the complex. The Jedi are too late to respond, but their combined use of the Force prevented everything from collapsing on top of them as they are trapped underground. Anakin's eyes stretched open before anyone else, and the Jedi Knight could hear the distant voice of Maul bellowing orders to his forces and to retrieve their bodies. Anakin crawled beneath the ruins and found the unconscious body of the others and moved them in an area with more air, but deeming them not fit enough for fighting, the Jedi summoned his hate for Maul and performed a mighty Force wave, sending everyone in all directions. The Night Owls that had been keeping an eye on proceedings by hovering above them dragged the Jedi and Satine to the safety of the arriving 212th Battalion, then waited for Anakin to make his move on Maul. The two Force users stood apart from each other as Maul told Anakin that he had been the one his old master had wanted. Anakin ignited his blade and ordered for Maul to tell him who the Sith Lord was, but the Zabrak presented him with an offer to give him the information in return for the freedom of Savage. Anakin would normally turn to his master in such a moment, but the Jedi Knight had to think on his own and realised that if the Sith Lord had been the one to attack Maul, then the Night Brother would be seeking his own revenge. Anakin guaranteed the freedom of Savage, and to his shock, Maul revealed that the attacker and the Sith Lord had been the person under the noses of the Jedi and pulling the strings of devouring Chancellor Palpatine. Anakin accused Maul of lying to him, but the Jedi Knight could not sense any deceit from Maul and provided him with the location of Savage's cell on Florrum. As he is about to leave, Maul informs Anakin that they would soon join the fight on Coruscant, and the Jedi heads back to his injured master and Padawan. Obi-Wan awoke to the completely pale face of Anakin, and Obi-Wan immediately knew that he had just found out the identity of the Sith from Maul, which Anakin muttered to be Palpatine. The Jedi Master hobbled from the medical bay to the command center, and he announced to the present council members that Palpatine had been the one they should be looking for. The Chancellor was currently in the Grand Republic medical facility on Coruscant, having been requested to talk to ARC Trooper Fives, and Yoda immediately orders Shaak Ti to not stop whatever Fives was planning. As the doors to the room closed, Palpatine is about to discuss the chip with Fives when he sensed a massive shift in the Force. Gesturing to his guards to stun Nala Se, Palpatine threw Fives to the feet of Shaak Ti before leaving through a back exit, and the Jedi Master chases after the Sith Lord. She did not have to run far, as Maul and Savage had managed to be free from the pirates on Florrum, engaging in a startling lightsaber duel as a separatist ship also landed close by. Dooku and Grievous unsurprisingly emerged, but the Count of Sereno merely stood in the shadows as Grievous began to cut a path through to the two Zabraks. The rather wounded Obi-Wan showed no signs of rustiness, using every bit of his skill alongside Plo Koon to topple the Kaleesh warrior as Master T and Anakin jumped to Palpatine. Having put an end to the lives of Maul and Savage, the Sith Lord attempted to convince Anakin that if he were to fall, he would never achieve his full power, and leapt onto several buildings to try to execute Order 66. Dooku smoothly entered into the battle, but to his horror, the order had failed due to the clones on Kamino being alerted by Fives of the imminent danger and had forced the Kaminoans to wipe out the contingency orders before they could be activated. As a result, Dooku was left exposed by Yoda and his old friend Windu, and as the two duels occurred at the same time, Bo-Katan's forces from Mandalore joined in and trapped the Sith before they could escape, then helped to arrest them. After the battle, Anakin is made a Jedi Master and a council member, taking the seat of his master, who had decided to reside on Mandalore with Satine and help rebuild the planet. Anakin paid frequent visits to his master, ensuring that he would always be grateful for his teachings as a Jedi. That is it for What If Anakin Had Joined Obi-Wan in saving Satine. If you enjoyed this What If, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel as well as on my other channel What's It Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching and see you next time.